If you're not willing to spend hundreds of hours studying businesses, reading annual reports, and understanding markets, you probably shouldn't pick stocks. That's not a warning from a financial advisor. That's Warren Buffett talking. He's one of the richest men in the world. He's made billions investing. And yet, he says most people should not do what he does. Instead, he says, just buy an index fund and hold it. But why? Because stock picking is harder than it looks. And most people don't realize that they're not just betting on companies. They're betting against professionals. Let's break it down with a true story. In 2007, Warren Buffett made a $1 million bet. He challenged any hedge fund manager to a simple contest. He would invest in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, basically a basket that holds 500 of the biggest companies in America. The other side could use any strategy they wanted. Fancy stock picks, complex trades, high-fee funds, whatever. Buffett bet that over 10 years, his simple index fund would beat all of them. Only one person took the bet, a hedge fund guy named Ted Sides. Sides picked 5 high-end hedge funds. These funds charged massive fees and used complex strategies. Buffett? He just put the money in a basic Vanguard S&P 500 fund and waited. 10 years passed. And the results? Buffett's index fund returned more than 125%. The hedge funds? Just 36%. Buffett didn't touch his investment. The other side paid millions in fees and still lost badly. This wasn't luck. It was math. Here's why. When you buy an index fund, you're buying a small piece of every major company: Apple, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Google, and hundreds more. You're not trying to guess who will win. You're saying, I believe the American economy over time will grow. And historically, it has. The S&P 500 has returned about 10% a year on average over the last century. Not every year, of course. Some years are up, some are down. But over time, the trend is upward. Buffett says for most people, this is the smartest path because most people don't have the time, skill, or interest to analyze businesses the way full-time investors do. And even many professionals fail to beat the market consistently. Buffett once said, by periodically investing in an index fund, the know-nothing investor can actually outperform most investment professionals. That's a big statement, but it's backed by data. In fact, studies show that over 90% of actively managed funds fail to beat the S&P 500 over long periods, especially after fees. So why do so many people still try to pick stocks? Partly ego, partly excitement, and partly because we all love the idea of finding the next big thing. But Buffett's advice is clear. Don't try to be a hero. Just be consistent. Buy the whole market and hold on through the ups and downs. That's what he told his own wife in his will. Buffett wrote that after he dies, 90% of the money he leaves her should go into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, not into Berkshire Hathaway, not into hand-picked stocks, just a simple index fund. If that's good enough for Warren Buffett's family, it's probably good enough for most of us. So what can you take away from this? 1. You don't need to beat the market to build wealth. You just need to ride with it. 2. Time is your biggest advantage. The earlier you start, the more compounding works in your favor. 3. Ignore the noise. Don't try to time the market. Don't chase hot stocks. Just invest regularly and let it grow. Warren Buffett built his fortune by understanding businesses deeply, but he also knows most people don't have that time or that passion. So he gives simple advice for real people. Buy the index, stick with it, and let time do the heavy lifting. That's how ordinary people can build extraordinary wealth. No shortcuts, no secrets, just patience and the right mindset.